And we're back. And we look just like we did last time. We've moved some things around. Did you notice what's different?
That's right. So we talked a lot about a lot of the things around marriage, both in a, if you will, a biblical sense, an academic sense, a fundamental sense of what we can do to make the marriage better. But as we look at those things, Father John, you have on many occasions talked about the 4 goods of marriage, which I think is a great summary for the guys to really kind of package it together to say, fundamentally, what can I be working on and really focus on in the marriage? Could you run through those again with us?
The 4 goods are, these are things which you promised each other in the vows. And it's helpful just to know, like, what we commit to. So there's 2 F's and 2 P's. Remember what they are, Joe?
No, I don't, Father.
Anybody know what they are? You know them all.
You should.
I'll help prime the pump, guys. Step up. Forgiveness. Forgiveness.
No.
Yes.
No.
Pump closed.
Football.
And we're not editing that. Football. That's one of the 4 goods, right?
Very good.
Yeah.
I never went to the...
Try to guess.
Oh.
So there's 4 goods. So these are 4 things that you promise each other in the vows, which are not just a moment in the vows. Tom said earlier, like, love the wedding, invite me to the marriage.
It's a 2 S and
2
P's.
2 P's.
family? Or,
No. Meaning what? Say what you mean by that.
You know, that the marriage contributes to bringing a family into being?
Yeah, fruitfulness.
Fruitfulness. Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's 1 F.
Patience?
No, but we need it, don't we? Yes, we do.
I didn't take the class.
Faith.
Nope. Well, close. It's 2 more syllables.
Faithfulness.
Yes.
Well, come on, you got to give that to me.
Yeah, no, I can't. Faith is one thing. Faith is a theological virtue. Faithfulness, right? Meaning exclusivity, right? What are the 2 P's? We said this earlier. We said marriage is a total of life. When we were talking about marriage, when they were one flesh, one flesh didn't just mean a conjugal union. It meant more than that. We said marriage is a total ship of life. Remember what that word?
Partnership.
Partnership. Yeah, that's one. That's the P. And what's the last one? The last one's the most. The most important one. People think faithfulness is the most important one. It's actually not. So, in sickness and in health, for richer or for poorer, in good times and in bad, meaning no matter what happens, I'm not going to
Walk away.
Right. So the P there is permanence.
Permanent.
Discussions about the contradictions or the distinctions between covenant and contract. So a contract is, I will be for you what I should be so long as you are for me what you should be. So the example is, I go to that supermarket down there because I can get that food at that price. But the moment I find a store that's got the same food at a cheaper price, I'm going to that store, right? Because that's a contractual relationship. We do that in business all the time. Unfortunately, that's how we live married life sometimes. A covenant is, I will be for you what I should be even when you are not. So that's what God entered into with us. God's in a covenant with us, not a contract. And marriage is a covenant, not a contract. So permanence flows from the covenant dimension of marriage.
Right.
The key to faithfulness working is intimacy. So people don't just wake up one day and go, at least most people don't.
You mean physical intimacy or something beyond?
Yeah.
No, I mean intimacy. What's it mean to be intimate?
To open yourself up. Complete sharing. Yeah.
Yeah, to be vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
Right. So a big mistake is most men equate sex with intimacy. Most women equate speaking with intimacy because that prepares for physical intimacy. Most guys find speaking annoying. Why are we talking? I can say that. I don't really care. I'm leaving anyway. Who gives a flip? So,
and I think I'd throw listening in there too, so that both
that's part of the intimacy.
Yeah.
So
I'm hearing.
So, but most people don't just wake up and go, "I think I'm going to have an affair today." It happens because it usually happens because the relationship has grown distant. So, concrete example, when we're young and in love, like you talk about anything all day long. Why? Because I just want to know you more. And then, those first few months or first few years of marriage, you come home from work, both of you, or whichever one's working, and, how's your day? Oh, it's awesome. And you start talking about lots of different things. And you just talk all night long and you fall asleep, you go to bed. And then someday you wake home and you go, how's your day? It was all right. What's yours? It was good. Click. And now you're in trouble.
Well, in permanence, as you touched on there, she felt safe. That security, and that's the one thing I often find myself talking with young people about. That security doesn't just stop with that couple, right? Because it's a good of marriage. It impacts everything. Your own children, you can see where your own child will take a sense of who they are from the secure knowledge of not just who mom is and who dad is, but who they are together. And that's my parents. Those are my parents. Your child takes a natural security from that. And I think we don't always think that way. We don't think that long term or how it's going to work in their psyche over the course of their lifetime. But as you get older and you see your children grow and become their own adults, you begin to realize what that impact really was.
Manamada, right here in this picture that nobody can see except the guys here, I am painfully aware at this stage of my life, because this is what I do, I talk to couples most, that the impact of their life on me is the single greatest impact in my life. And I am who I am because of them. And I got great priest friends who did not grow up in a home like I did. And they are very different people fundamentally in the sense of being able to trust and understanding certain things. I mean, I got all sorts of blind spots, but because of their witness and their example, I grew up with a level of security that they never grew up with. You are the first and most important pastors of your children. There's not a second person that's close. And what you're doing right now, even if your kids are grown and out of the house, doesn't matter. You're still the first and most important pastors. It's not just when they're little 4-year-olds. What you do will shape their lives like nobody else.
There was a guy at our table one time, he shared a story about how he always makes a big deal out of it when his wife gets ready, they're going to go out. She's getting dressed, and he makes sure how he tells her how beautiful she is and how lovely she is. And his daughter came home one day and said she had broken up with this guy she was dating at school. And he said, well, why? Because he doesn't treat me the way you treat mom. It's the wow, right? It's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, it's awesome. I want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Right? And may God make it so.